Have you ever wondered what would happen if you could turn yourself into an object after you die? Or if you could use an object to summon a powerful spirit or to protect yourself from evil forces? Well, in the world of Jujutsu Kaisen, a popular manga and anime series, these things are possible thanks to the existence of cursed objects. Jujutsu Kaisen is a story about Yuji Itadori, a high school student who has a very unusual hobby. He likes to eat fingers, but not just any fingers. He eats the fingers of Ryomen Sukuna, a legendary demon who was once the king of curses. By doing so, he becomes the host of Sukuna and also gains incredible powers. However, he also becomes a target for both curses and Jujutsu sorcerers, who are people who can use magic to fight curses. Curses are evil beings that are born from the negative emotions of humans. They can take many forms, such as monsters, ghosts, or even humans. They feed on human flesh and try to harm or kill humans whenever they can. Jujutsu sorcerers are the only ones who can see and fight curses, using their own energy called cursed energy. Cursed energy is like a special kind of fuel that allows them to perform amazing feats, such as creating fireballs, manipulating shadows, or controlling animals. But Jujutsu sorcerers are not the only ones who can use cursed energy. Some objects can also contain cursed energy, either because they have a dark history or because someone put it there on purpose. These objects are called cursed objects, and they play a very important role in Jujutsu Kaisen. In this video, we will explore the nature and role of cursed objects in Jujutsu Kaisen and answer some questions that you might have about them. What are cursed objects? How are they created and used? What are some of the most powerful and dangerous cursed objects in Jujutsu Kaisen? But before we get into it, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you want to get notified every time I upload a new video, click the bell icon as well. It really helps me out and I appreciate it a lot. Alright, let's get started. Cursed objects are items that have a lot of bad energy inside them. This bad energy is called cursed energy, and it comes from the negative emotions of humans, such as fear, anger, or sadness. Cursed energy can make people do bad things or create evil beings called curses. Curses are like monsters that want to hurt humans, and they can only be seen and fought by Jujutsu sorcerers. But not all items that have cursed energy are cursed objects. Some items are made by Jujutsu sorcerers on purpose, to use them as weapons or tools against curses. These items are called cursed tools or cursed corpses. Cursed tools are things like swords, hammers, or spears that have cursed energy in them. They can be used by anyone, even if they are not Jujutsu sorcerers, because they have a simple mechanism that activates their power. Cursed corpses are things like dolls, puppets, or stuffed animals that have cursed energy in them. They can be controlled by Jujutsu sorcerers who have a special technique called Shikigami, which allows them to create and manipulate animals or objects with their cursed energy. The difference between cursed objects and cursed tools or cursed corpses is that cursed objects have a dark history that makes them have cursed energy. For example, a knife that was used to kill many people, or a doll that was abandoned by its owner. These items have a lot of negative emotions attached to them, and they can attract curses or even become curses themselves. Cursed tools or cursed corpses, on the other hand, are made by Jujutsu sorcerers who put their own cursed energy into them. They don't have a dark history and they can be used for good or evil depending on the user. One way to tell the difference between cursed objects and cursed tools or cursed corpses is to look at their shape and color. Cursed objects usually look like normal items, but they have a dark or reddish color that shows their bad energy. Cursed tools or cursed corpses usually look like weapons or toys, but they have a bright or bluish color that shows their good energy. Cursed objects are not easy to make. Most of them are very old, and they were made by very powerful Jujutsu sorcerers who had a special trick. This trick is called a binding vow, and it is like a promise that you make with yourself or with someone else. A binding vow can make your power stronger, but it also has a price. For example, if you make a binding vow to never use your power again, you will get a lot of power for one last time. But if you break your promise, you will lose everything. Some Jujutsu sorcerers made a binding vow to turn themselves into cursed objects after they died. They did this because they wanted to keep their power even after death, or because they had a plan that they wanted to finish later. But this was not something that anyone could do. Only one person in history was able to do this by himself, and his name was Ryomen Sukuna. He was so strong that he could control his own soul and body even after he died, and he split his power into 20 pieces that became his fingers. Other Jujutsu sorcerers who wanted to become cursed objects needed the help of another person who was also very powerful and evil. His name was Kenjaku, and he had a plan to create a new world where humans and curses could live together. He killed many Jujutsu sorcerers and used their bodies to make cursed objects. He also killed many women and used their wombs to make special curses that were half human and half curse. Cursed objects can be used for different purposes. Some Jujutsu sorcerers use them to bring back the people who became cursed objects by finding someone who can eat them or touch them. This is called incarnation, and it means that the person who eats or touches the cursed object becomes the vessel of the person who was inside it. For example, Yuji Itadori ate one of Sukuna's fingers, and he became Sukuna's vessel. This means that Sukuna can take over Yuji's body sometimes and use his power again. But not all Jujutsu sorcerers want to bring back the people who became cursed objects. Some of them want to destroy them or seal them away because they are too dangerous or evil. They use special techniques or tools to find them and capture them, and they hide them in safe places where no one can find them. Sometimes they also use them as amulets, which are like charms that can protect you from bad things. They cover the cursed objects with paper or cloth that have special symbols on them, and they put them in places where there are many curses. This way, the curses will stay away from those places because they are afraid of the power of the cursed objects. Jujutsu Kaisen has many cursed objects, but some of them are more powerful and dangerous than others. These cursed objects can change the course of the story, and they can also cause a lot of trouble for the characters. Here are some of the most powerful and dangerous cursed objects in Jujutsu Kaisen. Sukuna's fingers. These are the most important cursed objects in Jujutsu Kaisen because they are the key to Sukuna's revival. Sukuna was the king of curses, and he had 4 arms and 2 faces. He was so strong that no one could defeat him until a Jujutsu sorcerer named Okotsu Yuta cut off his arms and killed him. But Sukuna's soul did not die, and he turned his 20 fingers into cursed objects that contain his power. Whoever eats one of his fingers becomes his vessel, and he can take over their body sometimes. Yuji Itadori ate one of his fingers by accident, and now he has to eat all 20 of them to get rid of Sukuna for good. But there are other people who want to use Sukuna's fingers for their own plans, such as Kenjaku or Mahito. Sukuna's fingers are very dangerous because they can make anyone who eats them very powerful but also very evil. Prison Realm. This is a box that can seal anything inside it with a very strong barrier. It was made by Genshin, a very powerful and mysterious Jujutsu sorcerer who also turned himself into a cursed object after he died. His box can only be opened by someone who has his blood or his technique. Kenjaku wants to use this box to seal Satoru Gojo, who is the strongest Jujutsu sorcerer in the world. He thinks that Gojo is an obstacle to his plan to create a new world where humans and curses can live together. He managed to seal Gojo inside the box with the help of some traitors, such as Geto Suguru or Hanami. Prison Realm is very dangerous because it can seal anything, even the strongest sorcerer himself. Cursed Womb. Death Painting. These are 9 special grade curses that were born from the wombs of women who were killed by Kenjaku. These curses are half human and half curse, and they have very strong powers. They are called death paintings because they look like paintings when they are not active. They can be activated by someone who has a compatible blood type with them, such as Choso or Iso. They can also use their blood to create techniques that can manipulate space or time. Kenjaku wants to use these curses to create more vessels for himself or for Sukuna. He also wants to use them to start the culling game, which is a game where Jujutsu sorcerers have to kill each other or die by a curse. Cursed Womb. Death painting is very dangerous because they can create powerful techniques that can affect reality itself. Outro. And that's our video for today. We explored cursed objects in Jujutsu Kaisen. These are things with a dark history that holds bad energy from people's negative feelings. They're different from tools or bodies made by sorcerers. We looked at how cursed objects are made and used. Some sorcerers turn themselves into cursed objects after death, often with the help of a tricky sorcerer named Kenjaku. These objects can also let old souls come back by having someone touch or eat them. Cursed objects can even be used to keep bad things away, like lucky charms. We talked about some really strong and dangerous cursed objects in Jujutsu Kaisen, like Sukuna's fingers, which are key to his return, and a super strong box called Prison Realm. There's also Cursed Womb, Death Painting, a group of special curses made from tragic events. We hope you enjoyed this video and learned more about Jujutsu Kaisen. If you did, share it and tell us your thoughts. Which cursed object do you like? Which one do you think is the scariest? Let us know. If you like I do in here, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, if you have some anime that you'd like me to cover, write it down in the comments section. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.